Lizzo arrived on the pop culture landscape like a thunderclap, along with her flute and a big smile, as she declared herself beautiful, worthy, and deserving of every accolade she could grab. Her rise also coincided with a renewed push for body positivity, a movement that was, in theory, meant to liberate all people living in larger bodies from shame. But now that she's openly embracing significant weight loss, some of her fans feel blindsided and even betrayed. Was all the body positivity just a convenient shield to deflect criticism about her size? Before we go deeper into today's video, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of applewood smoked bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, and butter toffee peanuts. From the beginning, Lizzo's fame was inseparable from her size. Her interviews, performances, and social media presence were punctuated by affirmations that she was enough, exactly as she was. Critics who dared to point out the health risks of her weight were immediately labeled as haters and trolls. For many, Lizzo's unapologetic presence was a breath of fresh air in the industry. She wore leotards on stage, posted unretouched bikini photos on social media, and she loved to show off her buns all over the internet and at NBA games. Technical foul, baby. Technical foul. She told her followers that their worth had nothing to do with the number on the scale. But as her career soared, so did the scrutiny. Every time she trended, it wasn't just about her music. It was about her body and about whether she was empowering other women or glorifying an unhealthy lifestyle. Brands flocked to her because she was a profitable symbol of inclusivity. Body positivity campaigns were plastered across billboards and Instagram feeds, promising that every size was beautiful. But behind the curtain, the same industries continued to profit from weight loss products, shapewear, and fitness programs designed to shrink the very bodies they claimed to honor. And Lizzo became their mascot. With every new Instagram post where she proudly flaunted her oversized buns, she faced a wave of criticism. Many people cautioned her to be careful, as they wondered if her mainstream popularity was truly sincere or if she was merely being exploited as a spectacle for entertainment. In 2021, she dropped the music video for her song Rumors, featuring Cardi B. After the video dropped, Lizzo was greeted with a bunch of racist and fat-phobic slurs. She hopped on social media, and while getting emotional, she said,
"Sometimes I feel like the world just don't love me back. It's fat-phobic. And it's racist, and it's hurtful. If you don't like my music, cool. If you don't like Rumors the song, cool. But a lot of people don't like me because of the way I look."
And then during a 2022 interview with People magazine, she discussed how she wanted to create a new beauty standard by embracing her figure. But she was tired of people commenting on her size. She said, "I know I'm fat. It doesn't bother me. I like being fat, and I'm beautiful, and I'm healthy. So can we move on?" According to research in the Journal of Health Psychology, individuals who internalize anti-fat bias are more likely to experience depression, anxiety, and body dissatisfaction. Even if they publicly display body positivity, the internal dialogue can remain harsh and unforgiving. For Lizzo, the relentless tension between her outward persona and her private struggle was probably impossible to reconcile. In interviews, she often insisted that she loved herself, but her voice sometimes wavered, as if she were reciting lines that she was trying to convince herself of. Psychologists refer to this as cognitive dissonance, the psychological stress experienced when a person holds two contradictory beliefs. Lizzo's career required her to maintain the belief that her body was perfect, as it is, while also absorbing daily messages that it was not. This tension is unsustainable. Eventually, one of those beliefs has to be released. In March 2023, Lizzo admitted she was tired of being the butt of the joke every single time because of how I look. In 2024, fans began to notice that the Grammy winner appeared to be looking much smaller. Due to the increase in people using GLP-1 medications to lose weight, people automatically assumed Lizzo was on Ozempic. She denied the allegations and attributed her smaller frame to all of her hard work in the gym. During a June 2025 appearance on the Just Trish podcast, Lizzo was asked if she ever tried injectable weight loss drugs. Lizzo responded,
"So I think the only way I could do it is Ozempic, but the Manjaro, have you tried any of them ever?
I've tried everything. It's just the science for me, calories in versus calories out. Ozempic works because you eat less food. So if you can just do that on your own and get mind over matter, it's the same.
The same audiences that had cheered her declarations of self-acceptance suddenly felt betrayed. Some accused her of hypocrisy, others expressed pity. Still, others clung to the idea that she must have been coerced by her record label or by Hollywood itself. But before we knew it, Lizzo had hopped on Instagram to share a before and after photo. In her caption, she wrote, "In light of all these magazines and blogs wanting me to be on Ozempic so bad, here's the truth. I work my ass off, training 3 times a week, daily sauna and cardio, adding animal protein back into my diet, hiring a chef who helps me meal prep and keeps track of what I put into my body in a calorie deficit, cutting out sugary Starbucks and full-fat sodas and potato chips."
So she went from I ain't on Ozempic to I've tried everything under the sun and right back to I ain't on Ozempic. Oh, okay. Okay then.
Lizzo has framed her weight loss as part of a wellness journey. She said she was trying to feel better, to improve her health. These are familiar refrains, the same ones millions of Americans recite when they begin a new diet or medication. But they also hint at a deeper truth. Weight loss is often less about the body itself and more about the hope that a smaller body will finally make the world more hospitable, and that it will finally silence the critics and deliver some sort of peace. These days, instead of being scolded by being obese, Lizzo is now being bashed for daring to change. The same people who insisted she was unhealthy now insist that her transformation is a form of betrayal. Lizzo once stood at the forefront of a movement that promised people in larger bodies that their size did not have to be an obstacle to joy, love, or success. She publicly rejected the notion that worth was tied to thinness, and she built a brand that leveraged this philosophy into millions of dollars, high-profile endorsements, and mainstream acclaim. And that's where things get really messy. For some, there's a sense that Lizzo profited from the body positivity message and is now discarding it once it has served its purpose. From a psychological perspective, this feeling of betrayal can be understood through social exchange theory, which suggests that relationships are maintained through perceived reciprocity. Her fans invested emotionally in her narrative, and in return, they expected Lizzo and her body to remain the same. When Lizzo shifted gears, it felt like she had withdrawn her side of the bargain, leaving them with the unsettling realization that her allegiance to body positivity may have been more strategic than heartfelt. The backlash is a reflection of how invested people become in the illusion that anyone could transcend stigma simply by choosing to love themselves enough. Lizzo's decision disrupts that illusion. It reveals that even those who appear to embody liberation are still susceptible to the same pressures and insecurities as everyone else. Ultimately, the anger is not solely about Lizzo's body. It is about the vulnerability that her fans feel in their own skin. Her transformation confronts them with a fear they worked hard to bury, that acceptance is always conditional, that love has limits, and that belonging is still tied to conformity. Lizzo didn't create those fears, but in her choice to change, she became the mirror, reflecting them back to everyone who believed she could be the exception. Lizzo's story is more than just a celebrity weight loss narrative. It's a reflection of how hungry people are for symbols that make them feel seen, validated, and worthy. For years, she carried that hope on her shoulders, insisting that happiness and success didn't require shrinking yourself to fit someone else's expectations. But her evolution shows that no one is immune to the desire for acceptance or the exhaustion that comes from living under a microscope. Ultimately, Lizzo lives in a world that demands an explanation for every pound gained and every pound lost. She became a vessel for other people's insecurities and hopes. She was celebrated when she fit their narrative and punished when she dared to outgrow it. No matter how loud the backlash becomes, Lizzo is just a woman trying to claim the right to exist on her own terms. And in the end, her story is a poignant reminder that no one should have to justify their existence to people who were never meant to hold that power in the first place.